Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today, got something pretty important to talk about, especially for those of you just getting started, or those of you maybe you've been in this filmmaking photography thing for a little while, and you're looking to push your creativity to the next level. Shout out to Andy Gray Films. I was watching a video of his a couple of weeks ago, and he was talking about the one surefire way to improve your filmmaking and photography. Now, we spend a lot of time on YouTube watching tutorials. I'll have more tutorials on this channel, but we take a look at videos from all the greats, whether that's Peter McKinnon or Matty Hopoya, or Creative Ryan, YC Imaging, the aforementioned Andy Gray Films, the Crowley Crew if you're rocking the M50. There's a lot of channels that will give us tips. Do this to make better videos, do this and that, and really Andy breaks it down, the one surefire tip. I'm going to talk to you about that now. But if we're just meeting, my name is Antoine Sexton. I'm a budding filmmaker and photographer here in Wichita, Kansas. And again, if you are into kind of the beginner intermediate side of filmmaking and photography, then this channel is for you. So definitely hit that like button and subscribe. But the number one tip to improve your filmmaking and photographer is you just got to go out and shoot. Sean Kennel of Think Media says it best when he says you got to just press record. And that's absolutely so true. I made the mistake early on of, watching hours and hours and hours of YouTube videos and tutorials and tips and tricks videos. And, I remember saying to myself, like, oh man, I'm soaking up all this knowledge. Like, I'm just going to be so good. As soon as I pick up this camera and start filming, I'm going to already know how to do everything and yada, yada, yada. But there is a stark difference between seeing how to do something or watching how to do something and actually learning how to do something by doing that something. Anybody can watch a basketball game, but you're not going to get, NBA level unless you get out there and practice every day, run the drills, and just the basics. Like, you don't just start off, shooting 3-pointers and start off, with, all kind of pump fakes and all this, but you got to start with the basic drills and dribbling and whatnot. And the same is for photography. Once I finally picked up the camera, I started over from scratch, learning the basics. I just walked around and would take several photos and ask myself questions like, oh, why is the background blurry here but it's not here? And really going out and playing with camera settings. That's the way to get better. There is this kind of theory, or this kind of rule of thumb in the filmmaking photography space, where they talk about getting your 10,000 hours, which essentially after 10,000 hours of use, you will be pro enough to do this or that. And the 10,000 hour mark is definitely something that I'm still striving for. I'm definitely trying to be better about getting out every day and shooting with my camera. I always, either if it's this camera or my M50 or my T6i, I try to go and take at least one photo a day. Making YouTube videos also helps. I got this and another channel, and so trying to be consistent on both channels. I'm definitely getting much more experience using my camera and just getting comfortable with the idea of holding it and maneuvering it and things like that. So that's basically all I wanted to tell you in this. Getting out and actually recording is the fastest way to get better at filmmaking. If you find yourself watching way more YouTube tutorials than you find yourself going out there and shooting, you are in a lot of trouble. In my opinion, it should be at least 50-50. I first heard about the 50-50 rule from D4 Darius, where he says that 50% of the time you should watch a YouTube video tutorial, and then the other 50% of the time you should be out there with the camera practicing that thing. And so I feel like a lot of times it's very easy. You watch YouTubers with a nice background and setup and things like that, or they'll have an entertaining vlog, and it's easy to get sucked up and watch a whole day's worth of YouTube on your day off, instead of actually going out with your camera and filming the things that you should be filming in order to get better. Another reason why I don't think it's such a good idea to just mindlessly consume content is because there's a thin line between becoming inspired by someone and becoming intimidated by them. It's nice to see, the end goal. If you see somebody in the spot where you want to be in, where they are doing YouTube for a living and got the nice studio with the cool plant in the background and all of that good stuff, and my plant is fake, so mine's doesn't count. So you got to get a real ass plant out here. But it's nice to see YouTubers in that position and think, and get inspired, like, oh man, I got to start grinding so I can get to where they are. But I mean, if you're just starting out, going from starting out to where they are, that's a long journey, and it's easy to quickly become intimidated by that. Putting in all the hours of work, making YouTube videos and having no one watch them after you spend 40 hours making a video, there's a lot of pit traps that can occur, and things that you can, traps that you can fall into. And I think, being intimidated is the biggest one. So definitely you have to be mindful of how much content you consume versus how much content you create. Okay, so quick story time. When I first started out on my separate YouTube channel, on my gaming YouTube channel, the first proper camera that I bought for that channel, and first proper camera that I owned, was a Canon T5i. Had that and the basic kit lens. And when I started my channel, I was using a dirty cell phone at the time. I thought that once I got this T5i, that the quality of my channel would just shoot up overnight and people will start to notice. I get all these subscribers and yada yada yada. Well, I got to shooting my first videos with the T5i and I noticed something. My videos still kind of looked like crap, and really it was just because I had no clue what I was doing, which is why I got into film and photography in the first place. I started watching, tutorials and tips and tricks from other prominent YouTubers in the space to get my skills up. But over time, I noticed that my videos were starting to look better, but it wasn't because I was upgrading my camera equipment or anything like that, because at the time I didn't have the money to do that. But I noticed that most of the improvements that were being made on that channel were because I was gaining knowledge and experience, not the equipment I was buying. So like I said, I can show you some footage, some early footage of me shooting on my T5i on my other YouTube channel versus some of the footage I was shooting right before I got rid of it. And yes, I had purchased a few things like some lights and a couple of cheap lenses and other things of that nature. But the biggest difference between the early videos and the later videos was my knowledge base and just growing and learning new tips and tricks. Okay guys, so this is just a quick one. I do believe that's all I got for you, but let's talk about it in the comment section below. Questions, comments, concerns, threats. What do you think about earning your 10,000 hours? How far are you in your journey? Just let me know down below. If you like this content, please go ahead, hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't done so already. You'll be glad you did. I do believe that's all I got for you. I'm out. Until next time.